All over the globe, organizations have these strategic objectives. To achieve those objectives, generally, what happens is out comes a project. The project is then rolled into the project office, and these projects can vary from anything from a process change to a culture change. In recent years, change management has emerged as a discipline to help these projects achieve their objectives. There are many myths about change management. And in this video, we're going to take a deep dive into exactly what change management is, and more importantly, what it isn't. My name is Nick, and we are Unchange. In short, change management is a process. It is a process that is informed by tools, best practices, and a methodology that create a plan. When properly executed, that plan enables people to do, say, and think differently. Nothing more. But why is that important? It is important that organizations enable their people to change. A simple way of visualizing this is to brainstorm what part of an employee's job needs to be done differently in order for them to succeed at this new project. Let's take a very simple example. Let's imagine your project is about building a boat. Nothing too complicated, fairly simple. The only difference, of course, is that the boat is a new design. It's meant to be sleeker and faster. Your senior leader goes out, gets the resources, in other words, goes and grabs the planks and provides all the resources for you. Your project manager then designs the new boat, makes sure everything is built to the specifications, puts in the right sails, puts in the right planks, everything is sorted. Now you have a beautiful, sleek new boat, but it's still sitting idle in the bay. That is where change management really comes in. What change management is about putting the sailors on the boat who can sail in a proficient way. Therefore, a change manager isn't someone who goes out and sees what changes need to be made. That's usually the role of an organizational designer or a business partner or something to that effect. He is not the person who goes out and decides what changes need to be made. A change manager is someone who goes out and tries to effectively implement the change. Make sure that the people are on board with that change. They are equipped with research, tools, best practices, and well-established methodologies that, when applied, produce a change plan that is both tailored to the change and the organization. To better understand change management, we can take a look at ProSci's 5 tenets of change management. These 5 tenets were put forward by Jeffrey Hyatt and Tim Creasy in their book, The People Side of Change. A very good read that I personally recommend for anyone who's looking to leverage change management in the organization. The first of the 5 tenets of change is really quite simple, almost intuitive. We change for a reason. We change because we see an opportunity or because we see a threat that we wish to mitigate. That's generally the prime cause of most, if not all, changes. Also, you are doing it to achieve a future state. In the case where you're mitigating a risk, you want that future state to be protected. So you are changing things around you to protect that future state. This makes perfect sense because the research that ProSci has been conducting for over 20 years now indicates that resistance to change is the norm. Doesn't matter what change it is normal to resist change. Therefore, we change for a reason. The second tenet is the organizational change requires individual change. Organizations are made up of individuals. They are an entity which, without individuals within, doesn't exist. Therefore, if you are looking to achieve an organizational change, you must change the individuals. This is why a change management methodology has to have an individual model for change. An example of this is ProSci's ADKAR model. It is a model designed to measure and manage the individual elements that lead to an individual adopting and utilizing a change. We'll cover this in detail in other videos. The third tenet is that organizational outcomes are the result, collectively, of individual change. This follows from the second tenet. It's really simple. If an organization is purely comprised of its individuals, and the individuals determine the nature of the organization, then it follows that you cannot have organizational results and organizational changes without the individuals changing. Change is an individual event, a personal choice, not an organizational one. What this means is that an organization is closer to achieving its goal if its individuals are changing. The fourth tenet is that change management is an enabling framework for managing the people side of change. What this really means is that managing the people side of change in a structured way drives adoption, ultimate utilization, and proficiency in the people. The discipline of managing change becomes a skill that the organization as a whole can employ to change faster and more easily. It can therefore be viewed as a process that affords an organization the ability to be change agile and flexible. The fifth and final tenet of change is that we apply change management to realize the benefits and outcomes of a desired change. Change management's primary objective is and should always be to drive and support the future state. If the efforts one does in the name of change management doesn't directly drive or support the future state, it is not truly change management. You're doing something else, but it's not change management. Therefore, by definition, change management is a process that is aimed at achieving the future state. Another way to identify what change management is to identify what it is not. There are many myths flying around about what change management truly is. And in this section, we're going to cover 3 common misconceptions about change management. The first misconception about change management is that change management is basically a little bit of communication with just a touch of training. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The reason this misconception exists is because change managers, at least the visible part of what they do, includes a lot of training and communications. But those are only 2 of the 5 plans included in their change plan that need to be executed for a change to be successful. By that definition, you're missing about 60% of what a change manager plans for. Obviously, that's not a complete picture. This is because those plans only build some of the individual elements required for a change to be successful in another person. Another misconception is that change management is all about the launch party. You know, the soft and fluffy side of project management, or the hug and a mug that you give to people when they're doing well. Whilst these things are included and planned for by a change manager, they are a tiny, tiny percentage of what it is they plan for and what it is they do. Change management as a discipline, in fact, can and should be measured in a rands and cents value. You can directly link it to the speed of adoption, the ultimate utilization, and the proficiency of your employees in the new way of doing things. It's therefore a very, very hard science. We will cover how to do this in various ways in upcoming videos. The last misconception we'll deal with here today is that change management should be a project management skill. Nothing could be further from the truth. The reason being that project managers have to worry about the technical aspects of the change. They're making sure that the new process is built in such a way that it meets the specifications of the project. It meets the objectives of the project. Change management, on the other hand, doesn't worry about the technical aspects. It worries about the people who have to adopt and utilize this new process or this new way of thinking. Because the people are the ones responsible for ensuring and delivering on those objectives. The one is complementary to the other, but they are certainly not the same. To bring this back to our previous analogy, the one of the boat, you could see project managers as the guys who go out and make sure the boat is built in such a way that it meets the specifications. It's got this size, that size sail, and everything is set and ready to go. Whilst the change managers are worrying about getting the sailors on board to personally choose to take part in the change and therefore sail the boat. By a generalized comparison, therefore, you could compare it like this. Project managers generally worry about being on time, on budget, and in scope. But change managers worry about speed of adoption, ultimate utilization, and proficiency. And there you have it, in one sentence. Change management is a process that delivers tailored change plans that drive the individual outcomes in the people who deliver the objectives. We have a course in the fundamentals of change management which covers this topic in depth, If you're interested, check the link in the description below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this. So, if you'd like, put your comments in the comments section below. We will review it, I promise. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing and leaving us a like. From myself, Nick, and everyone here at Change, thank you for watching, and happy changes.